On behalf of organizing team, I welcome all the participants, government officials, academia and industry experts for joining us for the DigiSkills Consultative Conclave 2017.
Just a word about a new name, because we had a name change about 2 weeks ago. The Securities and Exchange Commission approved our new name, Ignite. And this is our first public event of this size since that name change. Also, what is Ignite? You'll find that at the bottom of the agenda page. We have defined ourselves as a venture capital fund, which also funds initiatives that plug gaps in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. But as a venture capital fund, we look to learn from where this kind of technological wave started, which is of course Bay Area and Silicon Valley. We look to organizations like Google Ventures or Kleiner Perkins, and we've imbibed some of the management practices like OKR and like online learning and regular learning and creativity. One of the entities in Bay Area, Silicon Valley is Singularity University. It attracts a lot of Fortune 500 CEOs. So about 80% of Fortune 500 CEOs have visited Singularity University. And out of those who have taken 1 week, 2 week and 3 week courses there in what is called the fourth industrial wave that you see here as well, these are some of the technologies in it, 80% say they've gone back and changed the way they work because they learned something so profound that they had to do something about it. They changed the way they work, or they started a new project within 2 years of taking that course. Now, Singularity University doesn't get accreditation because every year more than 50% of the curriculum is changed. So no accreditation body can keep pace with that change. Why are we here today? What is the objective of this session? We are beginning what is something called the fourth industrial wave. A fourth industrial wave concept which was introduced by the chairman of the World Economic Forum, Dr. Schwab. First industrial wave was the steam engine. So it facilitated travel, it reduced distances, goods and services were bought and sold, it increased prosperity. The second industrial wave was electricity. So, or it was created by electricity. And because of electricity, machines could do, let's say, 100 times the work or whatever of a human being. Again, a rise in productivity, a rise in wealth. Then the third industrial wave, according to this model, is information technology, which brought in productivity gains and efficiency gains all across industry and agriculture and services and what have you. The fourth industrial wave that we are beginning comprises these technologies like artificial intelligence and big data, Internet of Things, robotics, augmented reality, blockchain. This fourth wave, like the previous waves, is going to have such a big, profound impact on lifestyles and employment structures that it is something that we really need to be cognizant about. It is going to have massive impacts on employment. The kind of skills and attitudes it requires are different from the ones that are required in the world today. So like 3 years ago, you may have read or heard that Bangladesh and Pakistan's exports were about $25 billion a year. $25 billion a year, a few years ago. Now, Bangladesh is at $30 billion and we are at $20 billion. We have a foreign exchange crunch. This kind of impedance mismatch between graduates and the needs of the industry. There is a skills gap. Maybe industry feels that graduates don't have practical skills, they cannot make an immediate impact, they're too theoretical. Maybe they feel they lack soft skills, like communication skills, like meeting time commitments, like team spirit, like a positive attitude. And we'll share with you through this day some surveys that others have done, that we have done, to identify the skill gap in Pakistan today, quite apart from this kind of looming wave which is coming on us. Whatever has been done at a certain scale, and the target set to us by our board of directors is 1 million people, and we got to work out the time frame. So it is an aggressive plan, and we want to get all stakeholders. So it's these 4 sessions. There are a series of propositions or questions in each session.
Our objective today is to facilitate a creative exchange and feedback regarding the scope and execution approaches of the DigiSkill training program.
One very important audience that I forgot to mention is the target of all this, which is students and professionals and unemployed and freelancers out there. And we have them on board through this live streaming on Facebook and Twitter. The idea is to introduce you to a couple of concepts which will prepare you for the questions. We did a survey in Pakistan. We got the same result. So as you can see, you have this in your PowerPoints as well, a lot of people said critical thinking was lacking.
The problem which I see is that our mathematics curricula does not address geometry.
1 million people that need to be trained with these skills. Have you defined, segmented them and defined the archetypes?
If you go back 5 years, there were other buzzwords. So you want to train 10 million people for these buzzwords. I mean, I hope you have done already some study.
Put on the table for you today a seriousness for the government to use the digital technology revolution in this country to channelize it towards creating entrepreneurship, employment opportunity for not just the youth of this country, but for the women of this country. When I was there in Barcelona for the GSMA, and Jazz team asked me to visit the stalls because Jazz Wimpelcom had taken their top 10 professionals incubatees from the world to Barcelona for a competition. And of those 10 competitors which they had gathered from the world, 5 out of 10, Yusuf? 4. How many were from Pakistan? I think 5 out of 10 were from Pakistan, and the one that was shortlisted was from Pakistan. In the end, the top 3, I think he was shortlisted for the competition. And this is the young boy from an incubation center which had not even started working yet fully. I'm talking about 1st of March, and the incubation center formally started work on the 7th of April. So this is what is a reflection of the talent that is here in this country. So somebody came to me and said, "Madam, he's being interviewed by Wall Street Journal. Would you like to say a word?" And I said, this is his moment of glory. And I would like him to be glorified at this point in time. I think like a mother, I don't think like a minister. You can change the face of this world because we all have to think for the future of our children who are in this world and who are lacking the hope and happiness because of certain environments created around them.
We will provide 100,000 interest-free loans in our 673 branches, right from Sost to Liari, right from Batapur to Quetta. From existing resources, we have the resources. We will provide up to 50,000 of loans.
The entire team of ePakistan in 50 districts. We are behind Ignite. We are behind you, madam. We are behind Mr. Yusuf.
Thank you.
So on the behalf of our committee, I think we will commit to this program and we will take it up, which will eventually, I think, will be cost effective as well.
जो प्लेटफॉर्म रीड करता है. I think data set learning is another emerging because there's so much unstructured data available, or companies are looking for people who can just have these pieces and learn to their platform. I think that should be added. It could be, I think, wonderful.
So I think there's an excellent point. This is an example of new jobs being created as old go away.
Absolutely.
So AI may, this new job, like that MIT article was calling it explainers. How do you teach the AI systems to detect this kind of stuff?
True.
So, okay.
With the specific outcomes, like in Logframe, you have outcomes and activities.
You're right. I think that's a good point. So non-ICT, let's add project management.
Okay, so my comment is on ICT skills, and that is that the areas which are mentioned, of course, as we have already discussed a lot, that they are futuristic skills. But the core, as the minister was highlighting, the core mandate is to monetize the skills.
I think they do not come under, in my opinion, under non-ICT skills. Rather, they come under monitoring and evaluation, M&E.
We are treating, alhamdulillah, more than 100,000 patients per annum with 8 ambulances. We need IT trained dispensers.
What if we adopt the technology, no matter if we, produce it here or we import it? So there will be an unemployment wave. There will be a communication infrastructure requirement as the traffic will increase many folds.
You end up having a product, how you take it to the market, what are your suppliers, like a complete supply chain model, value stream model. So business model innovation is part of that.
And for the execution, one idea could be to select 2 organizations. They could operate in 2 different provinces. Give them target for, let's say, 5 months, and then on the basis of the success of whichever organization works out, then roll out the need.
The delivery cost. So we are saying, when we put out a budget, we say that for a delivery organization, it's going to cost them this much, and we're going to give them a reasonable profit over and above that. Therefore, that's how we kind of price it. It's not like private sector pricing, that if somebody's at Stanford, we charge them $100,000. If somebody's at Menlo State, I don't know what year it is, we charge them $1,000, right? It's not like that.
And the master trainers should be one party, and then they could have TOTs in different geographical regions.
Okay.
And then the third should be the platform.
Okay.
Last question. Digital, what should the Digi Skills portal offer?
So we had some ideas here.
This is a key question, Tara. What will incentivize trainees to share the outcome data? I did this much in export or blah blah. I got a job.
The time we can launch couple of campaigns where they can win some extra points, or where they can win some other course certification.
So training credits.
Yeah.
So training credits is one incentive.
Yeah, training credits is one incentive, and or maybe some job by very renowned world trainer. They can earn if they have completed courses in specific type training based on the points that they earn.
Sorry, what was the second point?
Second point was like maybe calling access to some global international trainer on the same field. So if it is say artificial intelligence, someone.
Okay, so one is training credits, and number 2 incentive is you qualify for a particularly highly sought after course.
Yes.
Okay, set profiles. So that be a thing, and then also like discuss tools and technologies, reduce rate with different people that they can access. So that will be part of it. The profile, registration, application registration contains a profile. Third point, we have profiles of all the trainers, so people can come in and search their profiles. So that be a thing, and then also like discuss tools and technologies, reduce rate with different people that they can access. So that will be part of it. The profile, registration, application registration contains a profile. Thank you.
Excellent, my God, that was a marathon. And look at the people who have survived it.
And finally, you kind of survived wave number 1, lunch, wave number 2, so you are ready, the third wave. So thank you to all of you for taking it through.